What I want to demonstrate is what I call the difference between how a block maker is going to take measurements and describe a block to how a milliner will often do the same thing. In the case using this simple fascinator shape as a reference, I measure this in straight lines. So I'm looking at this oval and I'm looking at it and saying it is 16 centimetres by 13 centimetres, because that's going to establish the bottom size of my piece of wood I'm going to start with. For example, that solid block of wood, what that might come out of is that tells me that on the bottom I need 16 by 13, and that's going to become my basic shape of the bottom. The next thing I'm interested in is what I call how high the block is, and that is from the table to its highest point, in which case that's, so let's say roughly 9 centimetres, because then I'm going to measure 9 centimetres, and that's going to tell me how high my blank piece of wood needs to be, because I'm looking at this sideways as to what piece of wood it has to come out of. One of the challenges I face is when sometimes people will say, I want a block, a fascinator block, and they measure it what I call up and over, which is they measure this way and say the block is 26 centimetres long and 27 centimetres wide, which of course is a massive fascinator. So when I talk measurements of a block, it is purely in straight line as how it's going to fit into a cube. What is its length, what is its width, what is its height, and then we start talking about what sort of curve it is, whether it's concave, round. The other important thing to remember when I talk about a block, I call that the top, that is the back, that is the front. Whereas oftentimes a milliner will talk about, if it's on the head, such as that they will say this is the top and this is the front. So it's important to give me descriptions of it as an actual block if it was sitting like that rather than a hat, because sometimes people will say I want the top to be round, so I will make a round top, and they get it and they say no, it's wrong, and I don't understand why, because I've made the top round, but what they're thinking of is this part. So in a nutshell, I always measure everything straight lines.